What am I to do? My wards and I may soon be without a home.
What's happened?
The High Cardinal has descended from his lofty throne and taken up residence here in Northreach.
The High Cardinal?
Leader of the Council of Elders, second only to his Radiance at the head of the Imperial government. Not that any of those things still exist. Now he goes by his noble title, the Duke of Oriflamme.
And what does he want with Northreach?
He wants to transform it into a military stronghold, a foundation upon which to build a new Sambrec. He's already secured the support of the various army remnants, with promises that they shall be afforded the respect they deserve in his empire. One built on the confiscated property of the people.
He would rob the populace to pay for it.
Believe me, I have used every means of persuasion to discourage him from this folly. But for whatever reason, he will not listen to me.
What does Captain Philippe make of this? When the town was under attack, it was him the soldiers rallied around. Couldn't he use that influence again?
How? By speaking out against a man whose stated aim is to revive the empire Philippe's comrades swore to serve, and to improve the soldiers' lot within it. The captain can offer them a regular supply of gruel, and an occasional trip to the Vale to help them forget the terrors they face each day. The Duke offers them a vision of strength and safety. No. Any attempt to incite mutiny would cost Philippe the support of his men, if it did not cost him his life. But given the mood around town, mutiny may yet be unavoidable. The people have little appetite for further deprivation, least of all when it serves only to elevate others.
And who could blame them?
Clive, would you appeal to the Duke on my behalf? For your services to Northreach, you have the respect of the soldiers, and they will take you to His Eminence if you ask them. And unlike Philippe, no bonds of loyalty prevent you from speaking your mind to the man. Well, will you try? You could hardly fare any worse than I did.
I'll see what I can do.
Thank you, Clive.
Tell me then, where will I find this Duke of Oriflamme? In the garrison?
Overseeing the troops, yes.
All right. Wish me luck. I may have met this Duke before, at the Remembrance Ceremony. Let's hope I didn't make a strong impression.
Halt! Oh, sorry about that. You're the dame's man, aren't you? You got some business with the captain?
No, actually. With the Duke. I was hoping I might be able to speak with him.
We're under orders not to let any civilians pass. But you should be all right. His Eminence has heard all about you and your heroics. Wait here. I'll go and ask.
So, you are the sellsword who lent his aid to the garrison. The Empire owes you a debt. and I shall see it repaid. But tell me, is it wealth that you seek, or favor?
Neither, Your Eminence. I thought only to inquire about your plan to turn Northreach into a stronghold.
Ah, I see. You are worried the expanded yet you needn't be. A proud pride of place, in fact. For two, but no more. For it is they who shall see the Holy Empire rebuilt.
Why here, Your Eminence?
The town has been fortunate enough to escape largely unscathed from the recent, which is more than can. The Empire wants for a capital, and I believe Northreach, with Caer Norvent as her citadel. Once we need only build a wall around both to create a city. Plans are already underway. Soon enough, these thralls shall learn.
I fear you underestimate how dangerous these creatures are. Should they return in force, you will need all the people of Northreach to come together in defense of the town. Something they may...
The people will do as their... If Sandbreck is to be rebuilt, she will require one whose authority is beyond question. That is why this levy, so that any man who wishes to join the army might do so and be fed, outfitted, and paid. And yet there are those who persist in peddling the treasonous lie that...
I suspect.
Precisely. The common folk have little and less, and you mean to deprive them of even that. You would sow the seeds of your new empire in your own salted earth.
Sabine, we have
Yes, and I told you then how putting the empire before her citizens would lead...
Without an empire...
And in yours, there will be only beggars. Is that what Griga wills for...
Do not take her name in vain.
I'll come back later. The citizens... I wonder what the people really think. It wouldn't hurt to ask them, Let's begin with those on the other side of the wall.
Sabine. You are embarrassing me.
As long as you remain, the veil will see to your needs.
There were ghosts at the gates not days ago.
All right there. What is it?
Just your opinion. I wondered what you thought of the...
Not much. It's thanks to nobles like him that we had to set up shop this side of the wall in the first place. And now he's trying to drive us out completely. Threatening if the dame said she wanted him run out of town, I'd be straight through that checkpoint, tar bucket in hand.
A question. What do you think of the Duke of Oriflamme?
Don't you build a life for yourself somewhere, earning for some noble to turn up and tell you if he thinks his name and his chains will do whatever it takes to keep what's out. Whatever it takes.
Why, your stall is as ripe.
I've been hearing a lot of talk.
Nothing going around acting like he owns them. And with hardly a word to the dame. This is her town, not his.
I take it you'd rather she was in charge.
As far as I'm concerned, just need his eminence to sod off.
Well, the people seem united enough. What about the soldiers?
I got peppers to numb your tongue up.
Those things I said before about not being able to fight, you didn't mean them.
Excuse me, do you have a moment? I wondered if you'd mind sharing your thoughts.
Well, I mean, look around us.
You can see that the traders might not like having the screws put on them. But if they volunteered a few more of their hard-earned gil before, I think the Duke's got a point when he says rebuilding the Empire is the best way of making sure we're all protected. And if that means people who don't know one end of a sword from another have to make way for those who do, well, that's just how it goes.
You're the one who was talking to his eminence.
On the Dame's behalf, yes. What do you think of his plan?
I'm a soldier, mate. He tells me, listen, I've got nothing but respect for the Dame. That's where my loyalties lie. Not with the town or the Empire, but with my wife. If the Duke can get us cement and the equipment we need to fight off those blue skin.
As long as you remain, the Vale will see your needs.
I hear the Duke of Oriflamme plans to turn this town. Do you think that's a good idea?
It's not for me to say. All I know is that unless the Emperor orders me otherwise, His Eminence's word. Look, no one likes all these taxes and tariffs. Once Sanbreque is back on her feet, we'll all reap them.
Let's see what Philippe makes of all this. Captain.
For you? Thank you for last time. How can I help?
I wanted to ask you about that. Do you intend to go up?
But to tell you the truth, it's my sworn duty as a captain of the Imperial Army to obey his orders.
Philippe, I remember you saying that you became a soldier to protect the people you loved.
That's right.
Well, she doesn't agree with the Duke's orders either. She thinks they could tear Northreach apart.
Thank you, Clive. Protecting the people I love is what... Well, duty, thanks again.
It seems Philippe wants to do the right thing at least. I expect Isabel will be pleased to hear that.
Ah, Clive, were you able to speak with the...
I was.
Well, though I doubt it will come as much... They deserve to be heard, Clive.
Sadly, His Eminence values their obedience more than... I fear he sees the people as mere pawn. Needless to say, they themselves are of a different opinion. The soldiers, meanwhile, are content to... And not just because of the Duke's rank.
I thought as much. Had I sworn to protect Sanbreque? I dare say thank you for trying.
I don't know about that.
What happened to your uniform?
I handed it in, along with my resignation. Told the lads I wished them well, but that I owe it to those I love to call it a day.
But why?
Because I realized what really matters to me. Not following some nobleman's orders for the sake of it, but protecting what I care about. Protecting Northreach. I honestly don't know when those monsters will return, but I'm certain they're not finished with us yet. And when they do come back, we need to be ready for them. We need to stand together, all of us. And with you to lead us, milady, I reckon we can do it. It was you who finally convinced me, Clive. There's no point following orders if they go against everything you believe.
Indeed.
All of us, standing together. That has always been Northreach's best hope, and one which still lies within our grasp. We have only to turn our attentions to the true enemy. Thank you, Philippe, for showing me what I must do.
Anything for you, milady. Speaking of standing together, would you mind if I borrowed a few of the lads from the Vale to help keep watch around the town? I fear His Eminence has loftier tasks in mind for the Guard.
Not at all. Be my guest.
Wouldn't be the first time.
There may be hope for Northreach yet. Especially with men like you and Philippe to champion our cause. I, for my part, shall continue to work upon the Duke. In the stubborn belief, but I suspect I shall have to call upon your aid. Until then, Clive.
Until then.
What's happened?
Ah, Clive. You'll be pleased.
That is good news.
Yes. But you could...
What is
nothing? I'd find...
All right.
That...
I know.
Is something wrong?
No. And
But how did the...
it's not this. How you even saw?
Well, it looks like I'm following orders from me. Should have...
Yeah.
You're different. So I'll... You...
All right. To Randalar, then. Better not keep Eloise waiting.
What I wouldn't give for a hot meal.
Would that we had anything to give.
Looks like this is the end of the road for us.
When are they gonna let us through?
Good girl. Straight home now. I hope I didn't did you.
You wish to...
I would
We the best...
I would that no and
my...
I'm sorry.
as he was there. I was no. I
You
tried to take.
Hello. Word from Cat.
I'll
Hold on, Theo. I'm coming. Goodbye, Ambrosia. No need to ride from here. Where's the...
Upriver.
Where are you, Thea? Damn it. The ether's too thick. These creatures have already turned. I can't waste any more time. I need to find Theodore before that dragon does. Looks like it's found me. This thing's turned as well. This isn't going to be easy. Closer. Theodore, you had me worried for... We have to get you out of here.
I think it might be a little too late for that. Bearer or no, there's only so much ether a man can take, and that Drake just wouldn't let me leave. You have my thanks, Sid, for finishing what I could not. For keeping Elle's dream.
Theodore!
And so will you!
Theodore.
Take care of my sister.
Theodore, wait.
Goodbye, Elle.
Thank you, Clive.
That was true bravery he showed. His first instinct was always to protect people.
And now he's gone because I sent him to that.
It wasn't he was ready to do whatever.
To live my... He never could come to town.
What exactly happened? You once told me Theo was the first
We grew up in Canva. And I was chosen to I had my father's head, a late bloomer. For unlike most bearers, it wasn't until my parents tried to drive her before they could.
Theo told me something else. He clearly admired your devotion to the cause, but he said you deserved a better life than this, just as you freed him from his.
I would be lying if I said I had not how much easier my life might have been if I had allowed Theo and devoted myself to the family business and... But I have never regretted. Being with my brother meant more to me than tradition or reputation. I only had to look at him to remind myself of that night, and the choice I made, and the fact that I would make the same choice again in a heartbeat. He was never a burden. If anything...
You weren't, Eloise. That he had always been grateful to you for saving him, and that he wanted to repay you by letting you live the life you were denied. Neither you nor Theo weighed each other down. You loved, you did, and you always would have.
You're right. All I did was so we could be together, Theo. I know Theo wanted me to move on. but I'm staying here at the Crimson Caravans to continue our work. We can make a difference here. We can help people. Save them. I need nothing more from life than that. So I'll carry on doing what we do. Ensuring that goods, people, bearers get where they need to be. Bringing smiles to people's faces, just like we always have. And to Theo's. Wherever. This is the life I have...
I've made a choice of my own, to continue helping you however I can.
Thank you. Let's go on to...
Good girl.
Yeah!
Safe. Nice try. Two down.
Everything's back the way it was.
Take that, you naughty...
Clyde!
I just want...
no.
Are you there, guys?
It, but... Speak to me, mate. I'm there. Of the lot. I fought. Vic.
Oh.
What's the difference between a lord and a mayor? That's easy.
A League of Outlaws. Sounds like we have some competition. Still in Dalamil, Victor?
Ah, Sid.
I thought you'd have returned to Cosnis by now.
I did. Then I came back. I've developed something of a fondness for the place. And having worked so hard to see it saved from one fate, it would seem remiss to abandon it to another. A sentiment Master Lubor certainly isn't shy about exploiting. Hence my doing his bidding yet again.
You're not the only one.
What does he want you to do?
He asked for my aid in putting down the bandits. And he said that you might be able to help me find them.
Then you've come at just the right time. I was on my way to speak with Conrad about how to organize our forces. There are more camps in the vicinity than we can safely strike at once. But we must...
All right. Good girl.
Faster! Where's Ned?
Time to fight. That must be the camp Victor mentioned. Come on then, Toggle.
That's him! The one who killed Locke and Fingers! Take his head off!
I'd better let Victor know.
Sid. Ah, I see the bandits didn't post.
No.
No.
What?
Oh, this. See, something. And without.
But that's not
it. If he has, well, I would still. I don't.
You're...
And now everyone knows. I made it a habit to keep a crystal close at hand for just... Well, it's all... Look.
All lies, I'll wager. Just like the one...
Once people... We need to do something. Convinced?
You're right.
I'm glad you... I'm a down... You make... They, Lord.
I'll do it. Lubor, I can't promise...
And that...
Why are you taking the bearer's side?
Why do they always have to make such a fuss outside?
He knew all along that he was playing us for fools.
And we fell.
Forgive me for disturbing you.
As have the...
And
The townsfolk have made their minds up.
No, or...
Why the hell would
fit to take the bearer's side.
I assume the situation...
There's still hope.
But perhaps not in this lifetime.
You mustn't think like that, Lubor. Give Miltalk some sense into...
No, and your efforts...
But Lub...
Rosina would often tell me that steel does not lie. That a blade is a reflection. Yourself be true. That rather an ironic one when you consider that her life was taken with a blade. But I do not doubt that she was always true, and so must I be. I must do what I... And now, I must embrace my new role of villain, so that for only united can they hope to stand against... I'll need to make a suitably dramatic exit, of course.
Don't go, Lubor. We'll be all alone.
Trust me, little ones. It is for the best that I go.
How could it possibly be for the best? The least you can do is give the townspeople a chance.
I would not take it, Vic.
Over. And so just like that, you're going to... I thought you were better, but it seems you had me fooled.
Victor.
Forget it.
You sure you're making the right choice, Lubor?
Of those available to me? But where are my manners? Right then. I have packing to do.
If there's anything I can do...
I'll...
So Dravost is still standing. For now, at least.
If you can swing a hammer, you can swing
I never thought... Clive!
And the...
Most... Hold up. Enough of...
Well...
I'd never have guessed you who'd keen to help us out.
I am.
Before you can sneak...
Blackthorn.
Oh.
One of the scouts couldn't keep his voice. Unlike my best mate who did slow down. Long enough for...
That your idea of an apology?
Don't listen to him. You only...
But that ain't the whole of it. Vulcan, our master, didn't leave the chiefdom. He left it to me. The best blacks... Bloody stupid tradition in my bit. If someone's got talent, you should let them practice their craft, not ask them to settle petty feuds and barter. Our master wasted half his life that way. I wasn't a...
So you wasted half of mine instead.
You're what Dravost needed. Under me and my precious ideals, this place wouldn't have lasted a year. So I left to devote myself to the work and I may be a selfish prick.
What you had to do was your duty.
Even if it meant we all starve.
Enough. You can finish beat.
Yeah.
Sorry, Clive. Short enough on time. Still, give us a mo, would you? You,
We can't afford to...
Right you are. Don't want any... Oh, and...
Akashic on the move.
How close are they?
Within sight of the walls. The wash...
Good idea.
Understood.
I'm prepared to fight if I have.
Well, let's hope you don't. Once the scouts are inside, no heroic love.
August's right. The people here are tough and willing.
I'm going out. Start work on the gate to...
And if they kill you?
You evacuate. Then it won't come to that. I promise. Take good care of Dravost till I get...
Leave it to me. And...
All right. Which one of you's first? Is that it? Apparently not. Not getting past me. Too slow. Now, the question is, did I miss any?
Man alive! As many as I could, he says. The old bleeding lot.
Only almost.
Yeah, one or two did try to sneak over the wall.
Good. Oh, you do know?
In time, yeah. But we can...
Sid! Enough to give those Akashic monsters, but mostly...
I'm afraid there's no getting rid of that ether flood, meaning that any living thing which stumbles into those mines will end up...
And that's if the flood don't spread. I hate to say it, but the village's days are numbered.
That may be, but with ether floods springing up all over, it's no less safe. We'll fortify the gate, and I'll see that they're guarded day...
All right. Then we'll give you a hand shoring up...
As for you, that's twice you've turned up when Dravosh needed you, so... Thanks.
I shouldn't have stayed away so long.
Too bloody right. I always... And you leaving gave me the perfect and from that day on, I never once stopped to wonder what you'd have been the death of this place.
Finally. Something I hope you see the sense of it eventually.
Alive, perhaps. Wealthy even, but... Our work used to be the pride of Dalmeki. Now... we churn out the same rubbish day after day. It's not about the craft anymore. I wouldn't send my sons to war wearing the shit most of our smiths are making. The average castle apprentice has as much passion for the craft as our current lot. Come back to us, Blackthorn. I'll even man those bellows of yours if it...
That's a kind offer. Kinder than I deserve. There's people who trust their lives to my steel, and I daren't let them down.
Fair enough.
But that doesn't mean I couldn't visit. Let's see if we can't rekindle this temple.
I'd like that.
Just be sure to tell Snotty to let me in.
I never thought I'd see...
I'd say that went pretty well, wouldn't you?
Even better than I'd hoped.
Sid.
And this is?
A token of, but... designs for a certain sword have been passed down from...
Now hold on, Zoltan. There's a reason no one's made that blade in centuries. There's not been a crop. I'll admit your cinders make impressive steel, and I've learned to own an edge Odin will be proud of. But the engravings on that thing are enough to make a jeweler cry. And they're not just for show, either.
Have you forgotten what brought you back to Dravorst in the first place? Hmm? I knew I'd never surpass you with the hammer and tongs. Between the two of us, I'd say we're the equal of any...
You know what? I think you might be right. Clive, you wouldn't mind if...
As long as he can keep our secret.
Right. Zoltan, get your tools. We've got... The man himself.
We were just about to make a start on that sword, I promise.
It's funny, but none of this would... You remember Camille? We'll be using his leather work for the grip. The steel, meanwhile, will be tempered in a fire, burning the cinders you charmed out of old Zoltan here. And that whetstone from the Outer Isles, that'll be what gives the blade its edge. And the final flourish will be my talented colleagues engraving.
A team effort led by the greatest black...
Now, save that talk to the things, right? I'm ready if...
To the bellows it is, then.
Well, bugger me. We actually did it.
The sword to end all swords. Ragnarok.
It's quite something.
I, trust you'll take good care of it.
Thank you. Both of you.
So, does this make you pair the greatest craftsman alive, then?
This? Nah. This was just following the footsteps of the greats of old. It'll take more than that to earn us our place in history. But we're up for the challenge. Here.
A list of materials.
Zoltan and I got talking on the long road back.
We reckon with those items there, we could craft something even better than the Ragnarok.
That's a weapon I'd like to see.
I was hoping you'd...
One legend at a time, eh, lads? Before you start on the neck...
Good idea. No more drinking to forget my past. It's about...
Then tap the kegs!
What do I owe the honor? What do you want? And? Trouble with your gear, or... I never fought me, and if it hadn't been for you... What's St. Fordian, dear? Anything else?
The stew. Who's awfully thin these days.